Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 23rd, 2018 meeting of the Rotterdam Town Board. This evening we had our agenda meeting, and at approximately 6:57 p.m. we adjourned. But prior to the adjournment, we added a resolution to the agenda, which will be Resolution 17818 with a motion by Mr. Christou, a second by Mr. Signor. And what we are doing is modifying our public meetings dates. The meeting in June, next month, instead of being held on June 13th, will be held on June 20th. So will not be held on Wednesday, June 13th. It will be held on Wednesday, June 20th here at Rotterdam Town Hall. And that's, so that resolution was added during the agenda meeting. Ms. Marco, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Christou?
Present.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Present.
Mrs. Miller Herrera? Present. Mr. Signor?
Present.
Mr. Tomaso?
Present.
5 present.
Okay. Would you all please stand? And Lucas? Lucas, raise your hand. Right. You know which one you are? Lucas, can you lead us in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good work. Okay. So under, we're going to start with public comment privilege of the floor, and under public comment privilege of the floor, you have 4 minutes to speak, and I know that there's some young men who want to come up to speak to us tonight. What I'll do is when we get to about the 4-minute mark or so, a few seconds before, I'll just raise my hand to tell you that the 4 minutes is up. I'm not going to gavel you out if you need to speak longer than that for a few more seconds. I'll allow that, but it's 4 minutes, okay? All right? No pressure. No pressure. So, Ms. Marco, who do we have first?
Lucas Giordano, Nick Giordano, Matthew Goldman, and Shane Casey. You can all
Come on up, guys.
So we're here to talk about the Draca Park.
Say your name first and where you live.
Casey, 1411 Kings Road. So the Draca Park, we feel is a bit of a safety issue because every time, my first time going there, there's a guy down the road that screams and he always chases us out of the park. And so we were thinking that like maybe the cops could like stroll by at like nighttime because it's like it's like a bit shady. There's like drug dealers there and stuff. So we were thinking maybe the cops could stroll by at night.
What time of the day does this guy scream at you guys?
Like whenever we're there.
Daytime, daylight, or nighttime? Daylight.
Daytime, yeah.
Okay.
Which direction does it come from? Is it Bayberry Road or does it come from Draca Park? Right? Do you know?
I'm not sure. We just hear him front entrance.
From front entrance, so from Draca Parkway is
Yeah.
where you see him coming down? Okay, that's good to know. All right, and you had something else you wanted to talk about tonight?
Yeah, they have your next.
Yeah.
I'm Matthew Goldman. I live at 101 Stacy Crest Track, and I want to talk about removing the trees and stumps at Draca Park so it can be a flat area to do more activities.
Okay.
Well, I have a question. Are you the same Matthew Goldman that's playing basketball on your driveway when I pass by to go home? Is that you?
Probably. It's either my brother or me.
Okay. Well, I see him, vicious, the two of them together. I mean, they're like one-on-one. It's like crazy. But yeah, I live right up the road from you. Right?
Steve's trying to get it.
Yeah, he's trying to get it on.
No. I do not play basketball.
You can lower it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
My name is Nico Giordano. I live on 120 Daysman Court. And I think if we remove all those trees, maybe we'd have like a wiffle ball field because a lot of us love wiffle ball and play about every day in our neighborhood. And I think we'd have like a backstop and like a fence because we're removing all those trees.
So when you say a fence, you're looking for something that's really permanent or something that's more like a plastic fence? I mean, if you're playing wiffle ball, you want something plastic that'll serve its purpose as a backstop?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Yeah.
I'm Nick Giordano. 120 Days in Court. I think they should add picnic tables and to make it more inviting or something.
I think how many are there? One or two picnic tables, I think, under the pavilion?
Yeah, like one.
One or two, yeah. So we'll see what we can do about getting some more out there for you guys. I know that we have some in stock that we're putting together, and we'll get some more out there. I appreciate you coming tonight. Do you have anything else that you wanted to tell us about the park?
No.
No? Okay, well, thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for your
out to come
input,
here
guys.
tonight. Really appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Nice job.
And the four of you didn't even use up 3 minutes, just so you know. So that's excellent work, excellent work. But serious matters that we have to look into. I appreciate that you all took the time out again to come here tonight. It's very meaningful. Thank you, guys.
Boys, perhaps you want to take a few minutes and talk to the deputy chief in the back with some detail of your concerns about the people that are screaming at you.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, Ms. Marco?
Ms. Melvin Mintz?
I just want to bring up the subject of 2273 Helderberg Avenue, by the way. Last time I mentioned to the supervisor, and he was very kind to say that he'll look into it. I'm sure you've been pretty busy, but the water pressure where we are for the last few years has been going down and down. And I'd appreciate if you could find out what could be done, if anything, to bring it back to somewhat a better situation than it is. So I just thought I'd remind, if you don't mind.
No, not at all. And, go ahead if you want to. If there's something
No,
else.
no,
That's
that's,
it. I mean, I can very quickly tell you that we received last year. We were very thankful, grateful to receive a grant of $3 million, $2 million low interest loan. So it's $5 million worth of funding. We are looking at the Helderberg Avenue area because of the tank that's there. We have work that has to be completed to that tank. At the same time, we have a desire to increase our storage capacity in the town from one end of the town to the other because it's not we're not in any threat of not having enough. But it's cheaper to do it today than it will be 10 or 15, 20 years from now. Yeah. So we're looking very closely at where we're going to site tanks. We're not there yet, but it would be my recommendation to the board at some point in the future where we start looking at more storage on the eastern side of town. When I say the eastern side of town, really towards Helderberg Avenue and this way, before we get to the west side, which is basically what I say from Five Corners when I talk about it, west of Five Corners, the western side of the town. On the eastern side, where we already have property that can be conducive to another tank, is really where we already have the Helderberg Avenue tank. We have some other property there. We're going to be scoping all that out over the next several months. As far as water pressure goes, we do have a water model that Barton and LaJudas had assisted us with. I know that we had looked at, they had looked at that area of the town, the way that it is now, and then also with the prospect of the Whispering Pines project. And there's, I think the difference was, believe it or not, it was a gallon. So it's not a minute as far as pressure, quantity. So it's nothing. You know, when you have thousands of gallons that are going through, one is not going to make a market change, 1 gallon. So, but we are looking at it, Mr. Metz. You know, so that's a priority. It's always been a priority for me in the town because I look at other communities around us, and when we have, you know, there are many smaller communities in Rotterdam. There are many larger communities in the upstate area than Rotterdam. But the one danger that we have not faced, and you know, I want to ensure that we never face it, is where we have the main trunk line or the main transmission line of the transmission line of the water system failing somewhere, and then not having enough storage capacity to, even with water restrictions, take care of the needs of the residents and the businesses in town for a couple of days. Because sometimes these breaks could take more than 1 day to repair, depending on the weather and other conditions. So that's why we will look at more storage, and that's probably another 2 to 3 million gallons worth of storage that will take us pretty much into the future where we won't have to be concerned, as the town continues to develop. Because the one thing that we can't necessarily predict is who would be on the town board and where development will be, who will be where, all those things. So my focus has always been on infrastructure, because in my opinion, the hard choices for the town board to make have to do with spending the money that's necessary to ensure that the future of the town is bright, regardless of who sits on the board. And that the only way for that to happen is to ensure infrastructure, ensure that we do things to improve the walkability of the town. We're working on all those things, and I mean it sincerely when I say I think that in many of those issues and others, that we're all have that realization that it has to happen.
Right. Well,
So-
my not knowing anything about water pressure and how it comes about and what one can do about it, but we noticed where we lived there for over 55 years, that it's been going down, and in my simple mind thinking of more homes, more of that type there, I'm not going to get into the Whispering Pine situation, but that is a concern to me as the homeowner down, and I happen to be more or less at the end of the line, so therefore the pressure is going to be the least. So that's why I brought it up twice to you, and I hope I stay above the ground for another few years so that I can bother you some more.
Okay.
With that issue, that if we could move it along to take a hard look at if anything can be done or could be down the road, take a look, because I'm sure other people, someone else I think brought it up at the last time we were here, they also noticed they're having a problem along Helderberg with the water pressure. And when my wife brings it up, ladies, to me on a continual basis, that's why I'm here. So I hope you understand.
I do. Thank you very much for your time.
Mr. Supervisor, is there anything we can do on a short-term basis to increase the pressure?
Well, I know that Ian, our water supervisor, when we have residents or businesses who inquire about water pressure, quality, whatever the case may be, he goes to those homes, those businesses, he'll measure. He has an ability to measure the pressure. He has an ability to see what's happening and to also test the water. So we've had incidents where people have said that their water is cloudy, for example. So we'll go there and test it. Oftentimes, it's not, I'm saying it's not our system, it's something else either within the home or some other, the hydrants just got flushed the morning before. There's some other reason why it's like that. As far as the water pressure itself, again, I'm not an engineer, as you're well aware, but the other piece that's happening is we are also working, which you do know about. I'm not sure. I think I had this discussion with the incoming board members as well, and if I didn't yet, I apologize. I just don't remember off the top of my head. But we are working with the town of Gilliland to have cross connections with the town of Gilliland, and the reason for that is for emergency purposes at this point in time. And so all of these issues that are brought up when we're talking about water quality, water pressure, the one thing that we have to do is maintain what we have and improve on what we have. So even in looking and doing things with our neighboring municipalities around us, whatever we do, we're going to ensure that we build on what we already have. We're not going to go backwards. Okay. But what Mr. Mintz brought up regarding construction is a concern. Think about it from a different perspective. If you were on a well system and everybody on your road was on wells and you're at different elevations, and somebody builds something right in the middle, and they put in a dozen taps, we'll just call them that, whatever, a dozen units, and there's 1 or 2 units up here, 1 or 2 units down here. Now what happens is all of a sudden these dozen units are taking the water from this guy that's up here. His water quantity starts to go down, and maybe this gentleman's water quantity also goes down a little bit, and if they're on septic, his water quality, especially the guy down here, could be, the house down here could be impacted negatively, and that's another thing we have to guard against. So, having potable water and putting potable water everywhere in the town is a necessity for us, especially in the higher populated areas. And we talked about the property over on Rome and Saratoga Avenues tonight. we had commissioned a study for that area, and those folks on those two streets right off Kings Road, there's fire hydrants right on Kings Road, there's water right on Kings Road, but these two streets have no water. You know, it's amazing at this day and age where you have two short roads that don't have water. So we're looking at what we can do to get water to those folks, and also repair the drainage problem that's had there between the town and the Woodlawn Preserve and the city of Schenectady. So there's more to come on that. That's a little bit down the road, but you know, so we got a heightened sensitivity for all those issues. So I appreciate you coming here again tonight and talking about it with us. Okay, anyone else, Ms. Markle?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right, let's move into the resolutions then. Resolution 17018.
Appoint and reappoint individuals to seasonal positions in the Parks and Recreation Summer Program effective Wednesday, June 6, 2018.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Christou. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Mr. Signor. Anyone on the question? Just on the question, I just want to make known that one of the young people that is being hired by the town is one of my cousin's children, but I had nothing to do with the interviews or the hiring for these folks. These are children who are going to be working in our summer sports camp, recreation activity programs, RAP program, and preschool educational recreation program or PrEP program. So I just wanted to disclose that. So anyone else on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5
Okay,
yes.
resolution 17018 passes. Resolution 17118.
Appoint Keith Bushy as the director of the Town of Rotterdam Summer Jazz Band and the Town of Rotterdam Summer Town Band to perform during the town's summer concert series at the Town of Rotterdam Senior Citizen Center in an amount not to exceed $1,800.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Christou. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Guidarelli. Anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 17118 passes. Resolution 17218.
Appoint Donna Lavasser of Rotterdam, New York to the position of clerk for the Town of Rotterdam, full-time probationary with full employee benefits at an annual salary of $35,722.70, commencing June 4th, 2018.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
Mr. Super. I'll move.
Okay, motion by Mr. Signor. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Christou. Anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, would you call the roll?
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 172 passes. Ms. Levasseur, would you stand up? Levasseur? Levasseur.
North of the Canadian border, it's Levasseur. New York, it's Levasseur.
Levasseur. Thank you. I apologize. Okay, I'll try to get it right next time. But Donna, thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks. Resolution 17318.
Authorize the supervisor to enter into a memorandum of agreement, MOA, with the Town of Rotterdam Unit, Schenectady County Local 847 and the Civil Service Employees Association Incorporated, Local 1000 AFSCME AFL-CIO.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Christou. Is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Signor. Anyone on the question? Okay, Ms. Marco, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Christou?
Yes.
Mr. Guidarelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
Mr. Thomason?
Yes.
5 yes.
Okay, resolution 17318 passes. Now we have consent items 174, 175, 176, 177, and 178, which was the change to the board meeting for next month.
That's all the consents.
It was all consent. Anyone have any questions on any of those items? We'll into it, but I just want to know if anybody has anything, right? Okay. So why don't you read them all?
Okay,
and we'll go
sure.
through. Yep.
17418 is authorize the supervisor to execute a contract with Schenectady Amsterdam Musical Union Local 85-133, 1811 Ulster Street, Schenectady, New York 12308, in the amount of $3,125 to provide music for the 2018 Summer Concert Series held at the Rotterdam Senior Center 2639 Hamburg Street, Schenectady, New York, 12303, on Monday evenings beginning June 4th, 2018, and ending August 27th, 2018. Resolution number 175, authorize the comptroller to appropriate reserve fund balance in the Sewer District 2 from SS2 Reserve Repair Fund to S2 8120.2000 equipment for the amount of $3,019. Water District 3 from SW3 Reserve Repair Fund to Water 3 8320.2000 equipment in the amount of $8,603 and even. In Water District 5 from SW5 Reserve Repair Fund to Water 5 8320.2000 equipment for $48,753 to cover the cost of a new valve maintenance trailer to be utilized by the Water Department and the Sewer Department in an amount not to exceed $60,375. Resolution 176, call for the bids to be opened on June 21st, 2018 at 10 a.m. for the oil, water, separator, sludge, and sediment removal for the Town of Rotterdam Highway Department. 177, authorize budget transfers by the Town Comptroller to various accounts for 2018. 178 is amend the Rotterdam Town Board meeting schedule set by Resolution 118 of 2018 for the month of June 2018. The June 13th, 2018 Rotterdam Town Board meeting shall be moved to June 20th, 2018 to allow the full attendance of the Town Board.
Okay, may I have a motion on the consent items, please?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Christo, is there a second, please?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Miller Herrera. Anyone on any of the resolutions, any questions? Okay, Ms. Marco, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Christo?
Yes.
Mr. Gitterelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller Herrera?
Yes.
Mr. Signor?
Yes.
And Mr. Tomaso?
Yes.
All yes.
Okay, so resolutions 174 through 178, 18 pass. Okay, under committee reports, anyone have anything they'd like to bring up tonight? Mr. Gitterelli? No?
No.
Mr. Signor?
Nothing on the committees.
Nothing, please. Anything under miscellaneous then?
On the miscellaneous, yes, on the miscellaneous. As you're aware, the first annual Battle of the Badges resulted in a victory by the police department over the fire department, a 37-14 score. We do have a member of that team in this building right now. It's the lieutenant who did demonstrate to everyone, including his workers here, that he still has game and he can still hit a ball. Running is a little off, but still he made it around there. Anyway, and hold on, and the fire department was one man short. So just putting that out there.
37-14, was this a football game or was this a softball game?
Well, all I know is if I had been playing, the score would not have been as lopsided. Anyway,
Maybe you should become a firefighter.
well, you know.
So you
Well,
can play on
they did have umpires there, so everything was on the up and up. And it was a great time, and I appreciate everyone's involvement. It was really, really great. And we started talking about with some of the residents that were there amongst the crowd to what other ideas that they would like to see us do, other things they'd like to see us do in the town. So
ice hockey.
ice hockey is a great idea.
We could do this for
I'd like to do, what do they call it, broom ball.
Oh, that.
Steve, if you would like to play that.
And we talked about dodgeball too.
Okay, I'm not drawing one.
We talked about
I'm not doing the dodgeball thing. I'm not doing
Is
that.
the town board going to compete?
We would like to. We talked, that's one of the ideas. One of the ideas was with
That's
the
what I'd like
upcoming
to see.
200th anniversaries of the towns of Glenville and Rotterdam is to have some games between the two communities. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yes.
So I'm not sure about ice hockey, but maybe we could play
Ping pong?
ping pong. Really? I mean, okay.
I don't want-
I don't show.
I think one of us is going to have to do a motion to submit a resolution, so we will be allowed to play on these sporting events.
Okay.
I'll look at that next
We'll
year
talk
if we have
about
the
that.
second annual badges of the, Battle of the Badges, but okay.
And tomorrow, do you want to talk about tomorrow? Tomorrow's our Memorial Day parade.
Yes, tomorrow's our Memorial Day Parade. It's commencing 6:30, and rain or shine. So if you're intending on being there to spectate, and bring your umbrella if it is going to rain, but I think we're going to have great weather. And this will be at least my first Memorial Day parade that I've walked as a board member. I did have the privilege of walking as a coach for my daughter's softball team, but I'm very excited about it tomorrow, and hope to see everybody out there.
It starts in Mahonison and is...
I'm sorry, yes, I'm so excited I even forgot where it started. It starts at Mahonison, at the entrance to Mahonison High School at the Curry Road and Warrior Way, and takes it all the way to Town Hall.
Good,
And we have our Memorial Day ceremony on Monday, right?
yes.
Want me to keep going?
Sure.
And we have a Memorial Days at 2:30, I believe, at the Memorial Park, or excuse me, right at our little Veteran Memorial, thank you. Right here at Town Hall, and we'll be doing some introductions for some of the dignitaries. There'll be people from the Veterans Committee and stuff that are there too. So turn out for that as well. I think that'll also be very fun.
It is.
How'd I do?
Excellent.
I'm still a little rusty at this stuff. But
No, you're good.
You're learning.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
No?
Mr. Supervisor, I move to adjourn.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Christou for adjournment,
I'll second.
seconded by Ms. Miller Herrera. Anyone opposed to adjournment? No? Okay, let's all signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Support? Aye. And opposed, anyone? No. Okay, thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned. Appreciate your attendance here tonight.